The National Zoo wanted to expand our herd of elephants because we're trying to create a natural herd of elephants. We want a multi-generational herd of elephants. And in the wild, elephants live in a little bit larger groups than what we have had in recent years. So we needed some additional animals to give us that foundation for the herd that then will grow and continue long into the future.
When we came to National Zoo, it was evident pretty quickly that we were quite comfortable with the facility and the staff and the level of professionalism that the National Zoo had.
And so we connected and had a series of meetings and discussions back and forth, and they ended up deciding that this was the best place for their elephants, and so that began the planning process to move those girls here. The trip from Calgary to the National Zoo, I think, was about 2,500 miles, and moving an elephant is obviously a complicated endeavor. Moving 3 elephants at the same time across this continent is a hugely complicated endeavor. The elephants traveled here in specialized crates. They weigh about 10,000 pounds each, and they were built to give the elephants enough room, but not so much room that they could get themselves into harm's way in the road.
It took each of them a little while to get used to what it felt like to be riding. And we even noticed it when we make our stops. We all felt like we were still moving, kind of like when you're on a boat for a while. And so, you know, they all had to get used to that, but they really handled it well.
We stopped every 3 or 4 hours, sometimes more regularly, you know, as needed. But essentially every 3 or 4 hours to give the elephants a break just from the movement of the road, to offer them food, to clean out their enclosures, and then got back on the road. When we arrived in D.C., obviously our first goal was to get the elephants situated in the building, and that was a fairly lengthy process and pretty complex. So we had to crane the crate and put it at our load chute, which is a chute just outside that facility, designed to allow elephants to enter and leave the facility as needed. We put it there and then secured it to the load chute, and then let the elephants kind of come out of there at their own comfort level. We kind of encouraged them until they were in the facility.
They will gradually move into our ways of handling and our commands and our techniques that we use, but right now we're learning their ways. So these folks are great for that. They're teaching us how to do it, and they're also working the elephants themselves and coaching us through working them so that we can help them to settle in. And they're actually settling in terrific. For elephants that have not moved before, they're doing amazingly well at being comfortable here.
Probably the most memorable moments, I say plural because there's been several of them, is watching the National Zookeepers work with our elephants and watch our elephants get it, and watch them start to respond very well to the National Zookeepers. That's when that moment is, when all of a sudden our elephants suddenly click in and work with them. There's been several of those, and that's very memorable.
So it took months and months and months of planning. It was a hugely logistically complicated endeavor, and in the end it was successful.